Hello, everybody. How we all doing tonight? Ooh, I'm gonna tell you, it's awfully cold where I'm at. I need some heat, so let's heat up with an absolutely fantastic race here from Flat Out Racing North America, ladies and gentlemen. We're here tonight to bring everybody the Pro AM1 lobby. So this should be an interesting race. Let me tell you, the races so far all weekend long have been pretty intense. Don't suspect we're going to see much different here from our Pro Am drivers either, ladies and gentlemen. So we have Chris Reeves coming in with the like and the share. We've got Nolander coming in with that like as well. Facebook is behind again on those alerts. We've got Renegade up. It's Pro Am 1, my friend, Pro Am 1. And good afternoon from Australia. Good afternoon, my dude. How are we? All right. We're just checking on everything, make sure everything is running good. It looks like it is. Glad you made it home safely too, Ghost. Hey, yeah, it was a little crazy out there tonight, Chad. Not gonna lie, it was a little bit of a interesting drive home from work tonight, but we've made it. We're safe and sound. That's all that really matters at the end of the day. And yeah, it's definitely crazy out there. That's for sure. Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing, my guy? Yo, what up, Timmy? All right, chat. So we're here with Flat Out Racing North America. Sponsors, two of them here in this beautiful league that we've been presenting, and of course one being GTR Simulators and the other being Apex Racing Team, ladies and gentlemen. Massive shout out to the two title sponsors here in the series, coming in hot and proud to bring in some pretty amazing prizes for these drivers. We got sim rigs, we got merch, we got all kinds of things up for grabs here for our drivers through all the divisions from our sponsors here. I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. And enough of the ums, let's just do what we do best here. So, Brands Hatch, round 6, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a grueling series here and a grueling run to the holiday season for all the drivers through all the divisions. And now it's the Pro-Am 1 division's time to shine here. So, 13 drivers on track as well, ladies and gentlemen. It's a nice, fat, juicy grid here for everybody to enjoy some great action tonight. So, we'll go through that thing in a little bit here. For the time being, this race was ran at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time this past Sunday evening, ladies and gentlemen. So we are bringing this to you via a replay live. Now, amateur division strategy came into play there. It was a one-stop dominant race over the two-stop. One stop won the race. Not surprising, of course, with a slightly different settings in our Pro-Am lobby, or in our amateur lobby, pardon me, with the Mercedes. But the guys put on an absolutely fantastic race all race long, and Ben Blaker coming out with the big-time win there. And to even top it off, going into the holiday season with his first ever league racing win as well, ladies and gentlemen. So huge congratulations to the ICE Esports organization driver, Ben Blaker. We move up into our Elite Division series, and boy, oh boy, what a race that was. A little bit of intrigue, a little bit of disaster, a little bit of wow moments near the end of the race, and some good battling, and a surprise ending all the way down to the finish line there in that Elite Division. And at the end of the day, the win belonging to Mr. S. Cardinal. So a little bit of craziness happening here so far, ladies and gentlemen. And then we move into our Pro Division last night, and right off the bat, we've seen some spins. We've seen lots of bumping and grounding from them pro drivers and those big Jaguars last night. And at the end of it all, we see the two-stop strategy being dominant, with Jay Stewart winning the race, of course, last night in the Pro Division. So what can we expect to see here in our Pro-Am 1 division? Well, we could expect to see a lot of great racing, ladies and gentlemen. We can expect to see 13 drivers on the racetrack doing everything they can to gain the best position they can before the 35 laps is up here at Brands Hatch this evening. And it's going to be all or nothing. We're midway through the season. We're starting to get close towards the end of the season at this point now. We're on the way down the hill to the championship run, and every point matters now. These drivers are definitely settled in. They are buckled in, and they are most certainly ready to try and drive for a championship here moving forward into 2023. So I'm all caught up in my gear. Give me 1 second. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, we got everything sorted out here. Everything's okay, I promise. Y'all ready for some kicking calms and great racing? Get your drinks, get your snacks. Y'all not going to want to miss this. Throw this guy a follow, a reaction, and a share if you care to. Let's go, y'all. Nolander Gaming, my guy. Much love, my dude. Much love, much love. Nolander Gaming going to be coming into the series here as well, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to start taking over our Pro AM1 division live Sunday night for everybody to watch. So that means we're now going to be bringing 3 live broadcasts to all you amazing viewers out there out of the 5 divisions that run in the weekend, and that will leave us with 2 races left only during the week to catch everybody up on. So we're doing everything we can here over here at the commentary team to bring as much of this action to everyone live as we can. Of course, moving into season 3, we've got some ideas for every race being live broadcasts, but we will talk about that when we end season 2. So without further ado, let's get on to track here and let's go check out this lineup. And while we're doing that, we will go and talk about strategy. So fire me up, dude. Been waiting for this broadcast all week. Yo, let's go, Chris. I need to be fired up, brothers. Chile. We got to warm up, and we're going to do it here today. That is for sure. So, sitting on pole position here, ladies and gentlemen, is THG Sticky Bandit, and bonus point for him. So again, like I said, 13 drivers on the racetrack, and there is a battle in the standings here. We're going to get to that before we even start the race here today, actually, as well, because I always seem to forget. So we're not going to forget today. We're going to bring those standings up to you guys before we kick this race off here tonight. We have Apex Racing's Larry Birch here sitting in second place after qualifying. Now, these drivers ran a 10-minute qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, we can't show that to you, but we do have the race, of course, to show to everybody out there today. We have S. Haley here in third place, so again, great qualifying from him. We have Ice Team driver Renegade sitting in fourth place, and he was the big finisher last week in Interlagos, taking first place on his debut race. So Ice organization coming in here and really showing that these guys want to race and compete for a championship here at Flat Out Racing North America. Love to see it. Fifth place is Apex Racing Superman here, and been having a pretty good season here so far in Flat Out Racing North America, so we'll see where he finishes here tonight after coming from fifth place. We have EOR, Elbows Out Racing, ladies and gentlemen, here starting the grid on sixth place. We've got Egon in seventh place. We've got Walters starting off our race here in eighth. We've got Salas starting off here in ninth place, and then of course we got the man behind the series, the man who keeps the gears moving here at Flat Out Racing North America, M. Morin starting out in 10th. We got Smokem Holt, his teammate, right there in 11th. OBR Raylander in 12th, so not having the best qualifying, but still very quick driver. It'd be interesting to see how he how it works out for him coming all the way from the back of the pack here. And 13th place is Stackin' Yak. So pretty good looking field here. Okay, one-stop strategy here, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be very difficult in these Subaru BRZ 300 Ti GT3 cars. These cars are very hard on fuel to begin with, to keep them in a good power range to get good quality lap times around any racetrack. And it's no different here at Brands Hatch. Now, it's a very small, tight technical racetrack, so it is definitely designed for this type of race car. So I think these guys are going to rip around the track here pretty fast, but again, fuel is always an issue, and we add in the factor of 35 laps as opposed to the 30-lap race that we see in last week's round in round 5. Fuel is going to be an issue for these Subarus especially. So one-stop strategy, I think, is going to be for the bold driver, the one driver that just has it locked in, and it has to be the absolute perfect run, no mistakes, no hiccups, no getting caught up in traffic. Like, I mean, it has to be a perfect run, I think, in order for one of these guys to pull off a one-stop. This is just in my professional opinion, ladies and gentlemen. I could completely be wrong, and we may be proven wrong, and that's fantastic if we are. I love it. Second strategy is that two-stop strategy. Now, we have been seeing that two-stop strategy be very predominant throughout the weekend in racing. The Elite winner was a two-stop strategy. The Pro winner was a two-stop strategy. So on these tougher settings for these higher divisions, two-stop strategy seems to be the way to go here on this 35-lap grueling race at Brands Hatch. And we all know, for those of us that have been watching so far this week, oh, this track likes to show its teeth, and when it does, boy, the drivers pay the price for it. So let's throw up our standings before we start this race. Let's go through this now, and then we'll just do some racing here for 35 laps around Brands Hatch, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait. So in first place is Apex Racing's Larry Birch with 110 points. Right behind him is THG Sticky Bandit with 108 points. Add that nice pole position there. We're going to call that 109 points currently right now as it sits before we start this race. So very close at the first two spots here in the standings. Third is OBR's Raylander with 82 points. He's got a little bit of ground to make up on these guys, but he's definitely most certainly capable of doing it. We have Walters here in fourth with 73 points. Elbows Out Racing in fifth with 67. Egon right behind there with 66 points. Morin with 48 in seventh. Haley with 45 just behind. Smoke'em Holt is 37. Apex Racing Superman bouncing up into the top 10 there with a pretty good finish last week, up into 30 points. We have Indio with 28, Stack and Yak with 27, Renegade jumping right up into 13th spot there with that win last week at 25 points. Salas there with 19, and a couple drivers that haven't made the series yet, so still only on those point standings because we don't have 16 drivers currently sitting with points on the board. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, very close. I mean, 2 points coming into the race separating our leader and our second place driver in the standings. Coming in now, as we see things, we have Sticky Bandit sitting on pole at that point. Now it's only a 1 point difference, ladies and gentlemen. So it is getting absolutely intense here in this Pro AM1 lobby. We've got Carson Obb coming in with that like, and Flores Cesar or Caesar, I think it's the first one, coming in with that like as well. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, my guy. We're just going to go check one more time before we kick this off, make sure everything's good. Welcome everybody over on the YouTube channels as well. We see you all, we love you all, we appreciate you all. Let's do this, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Are we ready? I know I'm ready. Kick them tires, light them fires, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to go racing. Let's start this thing off. 1 red, 2 red, 3, 4, and 5. And we're waiting. It's just a matter of when that green goes here now, ladies and gentlemen. We're green. So we're with our leader, Sticky Bandit, here as we come down into Paddock Hill Bend. And let's see how these guys handle Paddock Hill Bend here today. We've seen a driver go off every race so far at the beginning of this race. Let's see how these Pro M1 guys handle it. So far, we're looking pretty juicy here. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like every single driver made it through the field here, coming out of Paddock Hill Bend. So let's get to the race now. We got Sticky Bandit here in first place, and he is on pole holding that lead. He's got the whole shot out coming into turn 3 and leading up into Surtees. He's got just a very small gap here on Haley up into second place. So Haley jumps Larry Birch here, grabs a position very early on in the race. Larry Birch is sitting here in third place, and he has Apex Racing Superman right tucked in behind. So teammate tucked right in behind, and his livery isn't showing up here tonight, so a little livery gets there for Apex Racing Superman. Sorry, my dude. Nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. Egon right in behind there in 5th place with Elbows Out Racing here in 6th. We've got Renegade, last week's winner, up into 7th place here. We've got Walters in 8th, and it looks like he's in a little bit of a battle here, potentially with Salas, as they were side by side coming into the corners here. I believe that was Westfield that they just went into there, and now they're coming. I can't remember them all offhand. I've been studying these all week, and I still can't remember them all. Salas here in 9th place. We got Stack and Yak all the way from 13th up into 10th now. Smoke'em Holt in 11th. Raylander into 12th, and more in here in 13th. So something happening there to those back drivers potentially, as they are falling off the pack a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a situation developing there in the back of the pack between those 3 drivers. But Sticky Bandit coming around here first. And we're just going to let all these cars get past that start-finish line and see who is holding fastest lap on track currently after that first lap. Right now it is Sticky Bandit. So you can see he's starting to open that gap up on Haley a little bit here in second. Apex is Larry Birch right there in behind in third. We've got Superman in behind in fourth. Egon in fifth still. So not too much changing right now. Everybody's settling in. Ooh, look at that shifting color little car. That's a beauty from Elbows Out Racing right there. Loving it. Renegade there moving up into 6th, but he's taking a lot of turn 3 exit there, and it looks like he survived. So coming into Surtees, maybe some dirty tires here. You're gonna have to be aware of that. Nope, handled it quite well there. Looked like Walters might have been taking a look up the inside, but he got a little bit sideways under braking, so he wasn't able to make anything happen there. Yeah, nothing quite crazy happening here right now. These guys have settled into the race very, very quickly here, and we are going to see a lot of nose-to-tail racing here on Brands Hatch, ladies and gentlemen. It is, again, it's a very tight technical racetrack. Even though it looks like it should be no problem for 2 guys to go side by side through here, as you can see the lines that they're taking through the corners here, you really do need all the racetrack to get around it efficiently. So you're going to see passes be quite precise and efficient here, I think. You're not going to see a whole lot of elongated battling, and I guess we'll have to see what happens here as the race progresses. Hey, Sticky Bandit on pole. Flores, what's up? Everybody, hope everybody's doing good. I mean, we're midway through the week here almost now, so Christmas is coming. Santa's jingle bells are gonna be jingling. I really love that car. Oh my goodness, that paint just gets me fired up, Chad. I love the way it shifts in the sunshine here in the United Kingdom today. So great stuff. Renegade here in 7th, and he's just chilling right now, but he has Walters really closing up on his rear bumper here. Let's jump on board with Walters as he tries to catch up to the ice driver here, Renegade. So great exit there from Walters. He really utilizing the racetrack there. Renegade not quite getting all of it there, but still managing to maintain that gap, and Walters really gaining in on the braking here, but going to be a little late on the power coming out, and Renegade's going to get a bit of a run off him there. So interesting little battle. Maybe it isn't a battle. Maybe Walters is just chilling right now, and he's just sitting in behind Renegade, not really trying to battle, but just saving fuel and tires, ladies and gentlemen. Let Renegade's car do all the work. So Raylander here in 12th. We've got Morin rounding out our field here. Sticky Bandit, our leader here, as we're coming around the final, second last corner, third last corner, I guess technically. The final corner is comprised of two corners called Clearways and Clark's Curve. So coming into Clearways, this is Clearways right here, ladies and gentlemen, the first part of the corner, and then the second part of the corner, which we see right here, is called Clark's Curve. And don't ask me why, that's just the way it is. Hey, I don't make the rules. I just follow them, you know. All right, so Sticky Bandit, not the fastest man on the racetrack. He was, and then Apex Racing's Larry Birch coming across as a 23.785 there. So second place driver Apex Racing's Larry Birch, who's now gotten around Haley, is the fastest man on the racetrack currently here on lap 4 of 35, and he is trying to now chase down Sticky Bandit there in the lead. Haley in third place, and he has Apex Racing Superman there in fourth place, really close up on the rear end of that BRZ there. So Apex Racing Superman having a good strong start here tonight. Egon is just a little bit off these two, and oh, there we go. Apex Racing Superman is going to grab that third place there, as Haley making a mistake coming into Cersei's right there, and Egon's now going to grab a bunch of time on this driver as well. So just getting it a little bit wrong into Cersei's gone a little bit wide there and paid the price of a position there. Did Haley, unfortunate for him. Renegade now here in sixth place, so he is starting to move up the field here, and he is trying to chase these guys down up in front here now. About 2.5-3 seconds to Egon up in front currently. Walters is still in behind Renegade here, and he's losing a little bit of time on Renegade now, but not by much. EOR, you can still see Walters just in behind there. We got Stack and Yak who's just coming in behind where EOR just went through. We've got Salas, you can see Yak right up in front of him there. Oof, unsettling that car a little bit, that curve did. Smoke'em Holt is just in behind these guys here as well. OBR's Raylanders just coming into these corners here, so working hard here to try and gain that time back up on the pack, and more in here as well, doing much of the same thing. So looked like an unfortunate situation there between a couple of the drivers, but they're still on the track and keeping on. Let's go Sticky, says Corey. Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you to all our original stream host pro coming in with that heart too as well. Much love, my dude. Content creators, this is big. Okay, everybody, we're gonna get off track here for just a second. Content creators out there, all you streamers, whether you're just a part-time streamer, whatever the case may be, streamhostpro.com, go check it out. My man Dark Crown Gaming behind it over there, he has found a way to offer up a way for creators to immediately start earning some income and find a better way to get their page and their names out there. So if you are a small-time creator, doesn't matter if you have 5 followers or 5,000 followers on your pages, it doesn't matter if you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, go check out StreamHost Pro, everybody. Please, 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 I strongly stand behind this, and GT45 Gaming is, of course, going to be a part of this here as well. So, sorry to sidetrack, but hey, it's very important. It's all out there. Huge shout outs for all the content creators out there, those guys that work hard, might be struggling to get what you need from your platforms. Go check it out, everybody. Let's get back to the race at hand, though. Sticky Bandit here still in the lead, and he's looking really solid here, but Apex Racing's Larry Birch is still right there, just about a second, maybe a second and a half behind, and he's just there. He's like, hello, I see you, I am coming to get you. Sticky Bandit's like, oh, no, you are going to have to drive faster. And oh, speaking of Sticky Bandit making the mistake, so commentators curse, boy, I am bad at this week. I am cursing drivers left, right, and center here. So Apex Racing's Larry Birch going to jump up into the lead of this race. And again, Cersei's victimizing another driver here today. So Cersei's must have something against these BRZs or something, Chad. I don't know, but that is the second driver now we've seen Cersei's claim victim at. And Sticky Bandit going to cost him that lead and the position. So our second leader of the race is Apex Racing's Larry Birch. And of course, that is our first lead change of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Apex Racing Superman here in third place. A little bit off those guys up in front, but doing very, very strong driving here so far. Haley, who he just got around a couple laps ago there, still right there. You can still see him. He hasn't lost him. He hasn't let him get away. He's right there in fourth place. Egon's in fifth place, and much of the same from this driver. He's just right there. He hasn't let the drivers get away. He's just maintaining that pace. Renegade is on the move, though. Renegade has closed up on Egon significantly here since we've gone through our field, and he's looking juicy. Definitely looking juicy. Walter's here in 7th place as well. Drop your link in the chat too if you're still here, my guy. Yeah. Do it. Yes. Walter's here in 7th place as well, ladies and gentlemen. EOR, Elbows Out Racing, is right there on his tail, and he is tucking in behind here. Now, I believe these two are teammates. I could be wrong there because I'm not outside the car looking at those beautiful liveries on track right now, but doing a good job there. Oh, that turn 3 curb. I've seen that curb get some victims here too at Brands Hatch. So, oh, and Cersei's almost claiming its 3rd victim of the night, ladies and gentlemen, here. So Cersei's is spicy today at Brands Hatch, let me tell you. Sal's coming around that corner here right now, and these guys having a hard time hooking up that inside apex to really get that great exit out here. Smoke'em Holt coming through right now. Raylander's starting to catch up to Smoke'em Holt, so he's done a pretty good job of starting to make up some ground here. Stacking Yak dropping down to 12, so not sure what happened to this driver here. Maybe a mistake, maybe Cersei's. And Lauren's just coming into Cersei's here, and you can see him taking that proper line. He's going to get a great exit out of there, and if he keeps doing that lap by lap with the rest of these guys just kind of skirting around that corner, that's going to allow him to gain some pretty decent amount of time. So really good lines there from Morin coming up through Cersei's. The only driver we've seen there actually come through that corner, in my opinion, the fastest way possible. Let's go Sticky Commentator's curse. Rip. Yeah, because I was trying to find it, but I couldn't. Gotcha. Quick hello to GT45, and I'll be in and out. Hope to catch all this. Hey, John. Much love, much love. I'll get that link to you guys on my page here shortly as well, what we were just talking about there. With the new content creator program. I just haven't gone and had the time to go sign up for it yet. So, but GT45 Gaming does support it. I do stand very strongly behind it. So we're going to be joining that program, and we're going to try and of course represent it to the best that we can, and we'll also help promote it as much as we can. So. THG Sticky Bandit. I mean, life's hard out there, ladies and gentlemen, so anything we can do to help the community get another step forward, I'm all about. We all know that, especially anybody who follows GT45 Gaming for a while now. We all know what kind of creator I am. I'm not so necessarily worried about how much income my page brings in, as more opposed to what we can do to help you guys out there, the community, again, gain that next step forward. So to all the fellow creators out there, that's all we're trying to do here at GT45 Gaming, is try to help you guys get that extra step forward. So feel free to hit me up via DM or privately afterwards. I can definitely talk more about it after the broadcast. So Apex Racing Superman here in 3rd place. We got Haley here in 4th, and he's still right there. He's actually closed up a little bit here on Superman. So, yeah, the drivers are really settled into the race paces here right now. We got Egon and Renegade still 5th and 6th place here. Nothing really developing currently at the moment here on the track, but we're at about that point where some of these drivers maybe are thinking about pitting potentially, or they're thinking about their strategies, and everybody's just kind of settling into their race. So we have Walters and EOR here now. And yeah, Walters is doing a pretty good job of keeping Elbows Out Racing off him for the time being. We're going to jump on to Elbows Out Racing here. And he is Flying Fox. He's the one with the... Whoa, and speaking of that turn 3 curb, there it is. He gets a little too much on the power on that very slippery curve, and oh, he paid the price there. He got that car into the wall. He's going to try and get it back on track. He is struggling. He's definitely got some damage there. Going to lose that position to Salas, and now he's got teammate Holt coming in behind here. So, oh, super unfortunate there for Elbows Out Racing, and boy, Brands Hatch is biting again today, Chad. It has its teeth out in full prowess here. OBR's Raylander up into 11th place here now as he's starting to catch up to those two drivers up ahead. Yak in 12th, and Ken Morin just coming through Surtees here. And again, another great line through Surtees. You can see Yak up ahead there, so he's gaining. Ooh, what do we got happening here? Apex Racing's Larry Birch and Sticky Bandit. We're looking a little feisty there, so we may have missed a little potential battle brewing there between these two, but Sticky Bandit has most certainly caught up to the backside of the leader, Larry Birch here. So taking a little look here, Sticky Bandit. Let's see when these guys start pitting. So we got Walters coming in right now. He's going to be the first of our drivers to make a pit lane there, and he's got some nice Christmas effects on the side of that car there. We'll let the camera crew do what they do here. So nice little festive livery from Walters here as he comes into pit lane. We've got Smoke'em Holt now coming in as well, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll check on that in a second. Let's get back to the lead here. We don't want to miss anything juicy up here. Apex Racing's Larry Birch coming around right now, and Sticky Bandit is he's gaining a little, losing a little, gaining a little, losing a little here. So interesting. Any one of these drivers just makes the smallest of mistakes, I think it's going to cost them here right now between these two. Ooh, Apex Racing Superman is under fire here from Haley as well. So third and fourth place now having a little battle, but are they working together there? Haley had an opportunity to go around him there, and he just opted to tuck right back in. Maybe even give him a little push there. We couldn't quite tell from our camera angle, but maybe a little teamwork happening here from these two drivers to try and close the guys up in front here as well. Intriguing. Very, very intriguing. Renegade in 5th and Egon in 6th. So Renegade has found his way around Egon, and Renegade is on a charge today, ladies and gentlemen. He's not the fastest man on the track, but he's definitely moving. And Egon down into P6 here now. I'm going to say it now. If we're going to see any driver attempt a one-stop strategy here, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be this guy right here. I just seen too many races from this driver. I know this driver. That's his jam. He loves that one-stop strategy. So if we're going to see one attempted, keep your eyes on Egon. He may be the guy to try it. Oh, no, EOR. I hate that curb. I was always spinning out when practicing with teammates pushing so hard. Oh, it's a tough curb. It is a tough curb. John coming in with that thumbs up as well. JL Salas here in 7th now, so moving his way up the field here, just being patient, and he's from VPR Racing there, as I believe is what I see on the side of that car. We've got OBR's Raylander here in that beautiful Twitch car, potentially a Twitch streamer, ladies and gentlemen, maybe. We have Stack and Yak here in 9th place as well, so he's grabbed some spots after all these pit stops. Walters we've seen in pit lane. We got EOR, and we'll get a look at that livery there as he's coming out, and some sparkling paint there too. He went all out for the fans tonight, chat. That is some expensive paint on that race car, ladies and gentlemen. So much love to our boy there, showing all that shiny paint off here today. More in here coming around, Flying Fox Racing as well. So Sticky Bandit now going to take the lead as Apex Racing's Larry Birch has come into pit lane. So we'll get a nice look at those Apex Racing cars. Of course, one of our title sponsors here in the series, ladies and gentlemen. So this is one of their drivers, and of course the other one here coming around right now with Apex Racing Superman. He's going to opt to go around again and move himself up into 2nd place now. Haley here in 3rd, so Apex Superman might be a guy to be looking out for here today. Renegade in 4th, and he's closing in on those two up there, but he is bringing Egon along for the ride as well, so ooh, could get a little dicey here, or spicy here maybe midway to the latter part of this race. Got Apex Racing's Larry Birch coming out right now. He's going to come out just ahead of OBR's Raylander. So OBR Raylander coming around Paddock Hill Bend here right now. He's got some scrubbed in tires, but they're getting pretty dicey against those new fresh cold tires of Apex Racing Larry Birch there. Stack and Yak's going to come around. He's going to move up into 8th now. Walters is up into 9th with Salas coming into pit lane. So we'll let our camera guys get a look at that VPR racing car there. You can see that snake head just protruding from that rear fender there, looking fantastic. Love the blue, chat. Big fan of blue over here at GT45 Gaming, even though you wouldn't know it with everything in the page being incorporated green, but there's a reason for that. I eventually learned how to take it safe and fast. Facts. This track shows no mercy. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. JL Salas here in 11th. Elbows Out Racing here now in 12th, and moving a little slow there. Not sure what was going on there, but Morin coming around Paddock Hill Bend here in 13th, so he has caught up to that pack now. Sticky Bandit still owing a pit stop for whatever his strategy may be here today. Second place, Haley with Apex Racing Superman just going into pit lane there. We've got Renegade now moving up into that podium position of third place. Egon moves up into fourth. And unfortunately, we can't look at his livery on that car because it isn't showing up today. So, yeah, I don't know what happened there, but game glitch. Nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. It looks something like that, but it has some customizations to it. OBR Raylander coming around here. That's going to put him up into P6. So started in 12th place. Keep note of that, chat. Apex Racing Superman, he's going to come out. Is he going to come out ahead of Stack and Yak? Yak is just coming around Clark's curve here right now, so that should give Superman the position, and it does. So he's going to come out in 7th place. Stack and Yak here in 8th. Walter's very close behind in 9th. Smoke'em Holt here in 10th place with Salas up into 11th. Morin is now up into 12th place there, and Elbows Out Racing in the back of the pack here. So not exactly sure what happened there to Elbows Out Racing. Must have maybe just missed a spin or an incident or something there, and it just slowed him up a little bit, but dropping down to 13th position here. So some of the guys not having their greatest races here today, and some of the guys struggling with the racetrack, and some guys are just doing what they do here at Brands Hatch week in and week out. Some of these guys, just doesn't matter what track it is on, they just conquer it. Daytona Blue is one of my favorite colors. Hey, almost did a high 21 BRZ last corner, lost a few tenths. Ooh, yes, that's quick, my man. Alright, so Sticky Bandit from Team THG, as you can see there, says stay humble on that door there. That does mean the humble guys, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are wondering. And Haley coming around there in 2nd place. That wasn't Haley, that must have been Morin we've seen coming around really wide there. Again, these curbs here at Brands Hatch, the artificial stuff makes you pay the price. You really got to be careful when you're getting under throttle over these curbs, especially this curb right here at the end of turn 3. It looks like it's all, you know, welcoming and be like, come out here, use me, but it's really not. It's deceiving. It's like a sneaky little trickery clown. He's like, haha, I got you. So yeah, you really got to watch that T in turn 3 curb. It's dangerous, very dangerous, especially with these Group 3 cars. You can see how low to the ground their aerodynamics are on these cars. I mean, they're almost scraping the road there under braking. So yeah, the curbs just do unsettle these race cars a little bit, but again, you know, a little bit of curb here and there does help get around the racetrack a little more efficiently. So it's a give and take relationship here at Brands Hatch with these curbs and these cars. Renegade in 4th place, looking good. Apex Racing's Larry Birch up at the 5th, and he's the first of the drivers who have pit so far. And speaking of pits, our leader now coming into pit lane. So Sticky Bandit coming into pit lane here. What is Haley going to opt to do there? And Elbows Out Racing is just letting these guys go by. Blue flag car, so he's just getting out of the way of the race leaders there. That's what we're seeing, ladies and gentlemen. Egon's going to move up into 3rd place, so Haley's going to take the race lead here. So our 3rd leader change here, ladies and gentlemen, and our 3rd different race leader here tonight as well with S. Haley as he comes around Paddock Hill Bend. That's going to move Egon up into 2nd. Renegade still sitting there in 3rd. Sticky Bandit holding 4th here right now. Apex Racing's Superman coming around. Larry Birch grabbing 4th place there as well as he comes around. So let's see if Superman gets up ahead here. Or if he's going to come in behind Sticky Bandit. So, ooh, it is very close. The Sticky Bandit is going to be coming out just ahead of Superman there. So, a very interesting little development right there. Apex Racing Superman gaining a ton of time on the race leader there. So, the undercut working out pretty good for him. Walters is in 7th place. Stack and Yak coming into pit lane here right now. And we'll just go through the drivers in the back. Then we'll go check out his livery there as well. OBR's Raylander in 10th. Salas in 11th. Morin is up into 12th. And EOR Elbows Out Racing, we've seen having a little bit of a rough race here today in 13th. So let's just get a little look here at Stack and Yak's car here. Victory Pace Racing. And again, he's got some color shift going on that race car here today as well. So very nice. I love the color shift paints, ladies and gentlemen. It is some pretty nice paint, and again, very expensive paint as well. But Haley coming around. Are we going to see a pit from Haley here? Yes. So our leader is now coming into pit lane as well. Is Renegade going to follow suit? No. Renegade's going to come around and take the lead of this race. So our 4th race leader of the night now belongs to Ice Team driver Renegade, and that's our 4th lead change, 5th lead change of the night, ladies and gentlemen. So Haley coming into pit lane, Egon coming into pit lane. Let's get a look at that car. Six Sigma Sim Racing, it says on the side of that. Egon here. And Sticky Bandit coming around here now. So Sticky Bandit and Apex Racing Superman both going to grab positions on those drivers. So 3rd and 4th place now up in goes those two drivers. Let's see if Walters can grab this position now as he's just coming up to the start-finish line right now. He is going to grab that position, but Haley's going to come out in front of him, so only one position out of the two. Egon's going to come out in 7th here. OBR Raylander's just coming around side by side with Smoke'em Holt there. I'm not sure if OBR Raylander was making a move there. He must have been, but so anyways, OBR Raylander in 8th and then Smoke'em Holt in 9th. However, that just worked out as we just missed it there. If there was a battle for position, I think there was, so that's super unfortunate. But OBR Raylander starting to make his way up the field here now again. Mooring up into 11th here now, stacking Yak at 12th. Elbows out racing here, holding up the pack here. We're at 13. Not holding up the pack, in the back of the pack in 13. Sorry, my guy. I didn't mean it that way. Oh, the commentator is going to be getting some hate mail later now. Renegade here, first place. Race happened Sunday. It did. Yes, yes. Don't tell me the ending. I don't know the ending, guys. I don't know. I haven't watched the race, so it's just as much a surprise to me as it is to viewers. I prefer it that way. So I don't know who finished in the top 3 in this race. Nothing. I do ask that these guys don't tell me any information, so I can keep my own enthusiasm within the broadcast for everybody as well. So I actually don't even know what to expect in this race. A Renegade here in first place. Apex Racing's Larry Birch in 2nd, and again, first is the drivers who have stops. So are we seeing a one-stop strategy coming from Ice Driver Renegade potentially? Larry Birch here in 2nd, Sticky Bandit in 3rd, Apex Racing Superman in 4th, S. Haley here in 5th, Walter's getting very close there in 6th, Egon losing a little bit of time on that driver here in 7th. We got Raylander trying to catch up to those two here in 8th place. The purple Twitch car on the move. Smoke'em Holt here in 9th with Salas in 10th. We got Stack and Yak up here in 11th place with Morin. Oop! Building some sandcastles, having a little picnic there, but he's all finished up and he's back on track and he's ready to race again. So refueled and refreshed, a little bit of dirty tires as he comes around that corner there, and he is back on his way into clearways. Elbows out racing, coming around there, ooh, doing a little lawn mowing for the officials, and this must be how Flat Out Racing says thank you to our racetrack officials and workers here. You know, we help them out a little bit. We mow some of the grass and rake some of that sand here at the racetrack throughout the week for these guys to, you know, just show our love and appreciation for what they do for us while we rip around this awesome racetrack all week long. But Renegade looking strong here in first place. He's got a pretty decent gap on 2nd and 3rd place here right now. Ooh, and we see somebody off the track here. Larry Birch in 2nd. Who went off track here? Ooh, I don't know. It was just Elbows Out Racing. I think he just got out of the way of some blue flag, some lead lap traffic, ladies and gentlemen. So Elbows Out Racing not having a lot of fun here in the United Kingdom today. Walters in 6th place. Egon in 7th. Raylander in 9th. Do you guys have game audio? Oh, thank God. I forgot to check it. Smoke'em Holt in 9th, JL Salas in 10th, Stack and Yak in 11th, Morin in 12th, and EOR in 13th here. And he is having a struggle, but he is still on track, giving it everything he's got, Chad. So at the end of the day, huge props, man, because points are points, and you don't get them if you don't finish. So you gotta run these races. You gotta keep that car running on the track for all 35 or less laps, whatever it works out to if you're having a bad day. But on track is still putting in the seat time and getting these laps in this car. So we're just going to stick with Ice Renegade here. I do suspect we're going to see a pit stop from him here, either this lap or next lap, and you can see why, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes into pit lane right now. And that's a dicey pit entry, as you can see there too, ladies and gentlemen. It's like a triple chicane, and it's very tight. So Ice Driver Renegade here coming in. We're going to get a look at that livery there, of course, with our camera crews. Ooh, they're slacking here. Yeah, we'll have to blame the camera team on that one, not getting the greatest angle for our Ice Renegade driver here. So Apex Racing's Larry Birch going to move back into the lead of this race. So the 6th lead change of the night, and the 2nd time that Apex Racing's Larry Birch has led this race tonight. THT Sticky Bandit in 2nd is chasing. What's the gap here? Probably about 6 or 7 seconds currently between 1st and 2nd place. Apex Racing Superman is about 3 to 4 seconds behind Sticky Bandit there for 2nd place as well. Haley here in 4th. He's got a little bit of distance to go to catch back up to that podium. I'm going to say it's about an 8-second gap, maybe a hair more. Walters is very close in tow here, gaining ground and steam on Haley here. So Walters may be looking for another position here in the next lap or two. We got Egon in 6th place, and you can see some dirt flying up there coming up to Surtsey's. So do we see a car off? No, we do not. So Somebody just getting a little bit wide there, kicking up some dirt. We got OBR's Raylander here. He's coming into Surtees here, and he's got a pretty good line through there as he gets a little bit of a short exit, but survives Surtees, and we know Surtees has been biting today, so Renegade up into 8th place after his pit stop. We got Smoke'em Holt in 9th. We got Salas woof, getting a little dicey on them curbs there in 10th place, and boy, you know, you just want to take them, but it's just 50-50 every time you hit that gas pedal on those curbs. Stacking Yak here in 11th. Morin coming around here 12th, and Elbows out here. Oh, it's 13th, and oh boy, having a rough day there, and that was a hard hit. Hopefully that driver's okay, and he is just having a tough day out on the racetrack here today, chat. But Apex Racing's Larry Birch coming around here, coming into Surtees. Let's jump on board. Let's get in a secondary cockpit cam here for this one, and as he comes around Surtees here, we'll give you a little bit of a reference guide here around the Brands Hatch. How's that sound? It looks like everybody's kind of split up there for the most part. So we're coming into this long sweep right before the 50-meter board. Downshift, just let off, roll through the apex, back on the power right here, take it out wide. You can get on the brakes just before the 50-meter board, go down into third gear, catch this apex, hammer on it once that car is straight, moving up, and then here, right about now, you're on the brakes, down a gear, over the curb just a little bit, float the car out. You have to let it float. And then pull over right around this curb here. You can hold a lot of speed if you get it just right, ladies and gentlemen. Moving over to the left side, coming into clearways right before the 50th board right here. Again, just a little downshift down. Try to hug that corner on the throttle. Take it out wide. Cut it back in a little short here. This is Clark's curve, and there you are. We're at the start-finish line. Paddock Hill Bend. So right where these double lines start, you're on the brakes, down a couple gears, roll into it, and as soon as you're on that apex, you're back on the gas, up a gear. You can use that little bit exit there right under the banner. You're on the brakes, down into second gear, and you just want to roll around this apex, take it late, get a straight exit out. Great job there by Larry Birch coming out of that corner. Right before the curbing, you're on the brakes, maybe down a gear, catch that curb, wait for it a little bit, and then on the throttle and out. And then of course coming into Surtees right about here, you're letting off, down a gear, roll it through right at this line on the gas, and there we go. Larry Birch almost getting sideways there. He hammered on it so good, and that is our reference points here around Brands Hatch from our leader Apex Racing's Larry Birch, and he was right on cue, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. So looking very solid here in the lead currently, as we're a little over halfway around the racetrack now for round 6. So nice lap there by Apex Racing's Larry Birch. I should speak in past tense then when Chris medic. Alright, so Sticky Bandit here chasing, and the gap is about the same still, so hasn't lost any ground, hasn't really gained any ground. Our third place driver has lost some ground here to our first and second place drivers, however, so the gap is growing from third to second place. Haley here is in fourth, and that gap is quite large as well now between our fourth and third place driver. Egon here still sitting very solid in fifth place as well. Walter's sitting here in sixth. He's been having a great race. You can see he was fourth in the standings coming into the race today, so he definitely wants a good finish here. A Renegade chasing now in seventh. We have Smoke'em Holt here in eighth. We've got OBR's Raylander in ninth. We've got Salas in 10th. We have Stacking Yak here in 11th place. Morin is in 12th, and Elbows out racing here in 13th. And a track limit penalty there for Morin for a half second. So cutting the track there somewhere. Stewart's making him pay for it. And here we go with our race leader as he comes around Surtees. So again, great times here. 1:23.4 is the fastest lap on track currently. That's held by Sticky Bandit. So if it stays that way, that ties him with Apex Racing's Larry Birch in the championship standings, and it comes down to where these drivers finish at that point moving into the holiday season. So this is the last race from our Pro AM1 division for the 2022 season as well, folks. And then of course we start January 7th again for our January 2023 season. The only difference is Pro Am1 will be done live Sunday evening, ladies and gentlemen, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So you will see these guys live broadcast as it happens right there, fresh on the racetrack. And that'll be done by Nolander Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. So welcoming Nolander Gaming again into Flat Out Racing North America, and of course to the GT45 Gaming commentary team here as well. Apex Racing Superman here in third place, and he's looking solid. He's going to be the first one to come in for that second pit stop, so an interesting strategy. The undercut worked out pretty well for him last time, so he's going to do it again. So we're going to have to see how that works out for him. But our third place driver coming in for his second pit stop. So we may have a driver, maybe two potentially on a one-stop strategy. But for the most part, we're definitely seeing the two-stop very, very dominant here tonight. The blind right-hander on the back section is sketchy, easy to get it wrong, absolutely. And I do have a corner name for that corner, I just don't know it right offhand. I could bring up my diagram, I suppose. THG Sticky Bandit here in second place, and we'll sit on this driver here for a minute. And again, the drivers are fairly spread out from each other right now. We're going to start seeing that change, of course, with the sequence of pit stops. We see Walters now coming into pit lane as well. So we're going to start seeing these drivers start the second sequence of pit stops, and then we should see some of these drivers potentially close back up on each other for really their final push of the race here. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all falls into play. And you can see Sticky Bandit just going around. I believe that's Morin there. Morin just getting out of the way. And Sticky Bandit's going to continue on through Clearways and Clark's Curve here. I think it's Morin coming into pit lane right now. Yes. Okay, I'm getting pretty good by looking at these liveries. Gotta say. Apex Racing's Larry Birch coming down Paddock Hill Bend here in the lead, but Sticky Bandit's starting to close in now. That gap was much bigger not too long ago, so either Apex Racing's Larry Birch has made a mistake, or Sticky Bandit has just found a little bit of pace on him currently and is starting to reel him back in. Purple sector there as he comes around turn 3 here on lap 24 as well. So let's stick with Sticky Bandit here for a moment as he comes around Cersei's here right now, and he's almost 0.4 of a second up on that fastest lap currently that he already holds on the racetrack. So we may see potentially a 122 come out of these guys here before the race is over tonight. Go Sticky Bandit, went from racing medium to racing medium when I wanted racing soft. Oh, toughie, that's a toughie. I'm not going to repeat that one. So Sticky Bandit cruising here, he's really closing up. Let's stick with him here. We're gonna stick with him, right? We're watching this fastest lap. I forgot what I was doing here, and he's still 2.5 tenths up here, ladies and gentlemen, so he's looking good to improve on that lap. Let's see how, and you can see he is closing up on Apex Racing's Larry Birch up in front there too, very, very quickly. So Apex Racing's Larry Birch is actually going to come into pit lane just as we say it. So Sticky Bandit is going to take the lead back for the 3rd time in this race, and that's our 7th lead change here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And he does go purple there with a 23.415. Oh, okay, that's cute. Identical laps potentially. That is pretty rare, ladies and gentlemen. If that is the case, we just seen a very rare occurrence there. Identical fastest lap from the same driver there, about 8 laps apart from each other. So crazy town. Egon coming around Clearways and Clark's Curve here right now. Is he going to grab second place on Apex Racing's Larry Birch here as he comes around? It does appear that is going to be the case, and that is the case. So where's Renegade going to come out? Renegade all the way back up into 4th place after being in 8th after his pit stop. So he has made a ton of ground up on these drivers. Apex Racing's Larry Birch is going to come out ahead of Renegade there. Renegade back up into P4. OBR Raylander is coming into pit lane right now. Apex Racing Superman pit last time around, so he's in a good spot here, I think, ladies and gentlemen, when some of these guys up ahead start pitting. Haley here in 7th. What's he going to do as he comes around here? He did make a stop a little while ago, so I don't suspect we're going to see a stop from this driver too relatively soon, or if at all, that is, I suppose. He is going to jump up into 6th place there with Raylander in the pit lane. Walters is going to grab position as well. Stack and Yak going to come in behind OBR's Raylander there. We'll take advantage of a good camera angle on that beautiful livery there while we're at it, and continue on moving down the lane here. Smoke'em Holt there in 10th, Salas in 11th, Moore in 12th. We've seen somebody come up behind Salas there. It might be a lead lap car. I can't quite tell. Let's see if this camera angle shows us here. It is not. It is teammate Elbows Out Racing, actually. So, got a little bit of mixed up cars here right now, too, with this pit stop sequence a little bit not finished. So, very, very interesting. No, Haley. Sticky king of consistency. He really is. Really, really is. Nigerian security coming in. Paradise with that thumbs up too. Much love, my dude. Hope you're doing fantastic. Love to see you still popping in. We've got Jake Batty coming in with that heart as well. All right. Apex Racing's Larry Birch in 2nd place. Chasing Sticky Bandit here. So Sticky Bandit does have about a half-track lead almost currently on second place drivers Apex Racing's Larry Birch. Renegade now up into P3 here, so he's gotten around Apex Racing Superman, so something happening there to Superman. Superman dropping down to P4 here. Egon in 5th place, and he's catching up to what looks like to be Mr. Moore in there. Haley in 6th. We've got Walters in 7th. We've got Raylander cruising around here in 8th. We've got Holt in 9th. We have Salas in 10th with the Yak right behind here in 11th. And woo-wee, Elbows Out Racing got a little bit spicy on exit there right in behind. And Mr. Moore in here in 12th. So that was a little dicey, ladies and gentlemen, from Elbows Out Racing there. But it looks like he's starting to lock in here now. So Sticky Bandit is leading this race, and you can see OBR Raylander just in behind him there, so that's how far ahead of the most of the pack he is right now on this pit stop strategy that he's on. Apex Racing's Larry Birch is just coming through Paddock Hill Bend, and Sticky Bandit is coming into the sweeping right-hand corner here. So, like I said, about half the racetrack currently is that gap between first and second place. Renegade is about 8-10, maybe a little more seconds behind second place drivers Apex Racing's Larry Birch as well. Superman is about the same behind Renegade currently here in 4th place. Egon is just gotten around what looks like to be either Morin or Smoke'em Holt there in 5th place. Haley here coming around now in 6th, and he just said he did make a tire mistake in this race there, so not ideally where he wanted to be at this point in the race. Walters in 7th, we've got Raylander in 8th, and we got the leader pitting, so we're actually going to jump in on this because it's going to be interesting to see if he can stay ahead of Larry Birch or not as he's coming around the racetrack here. Again, he had a very large gap on the rest of the field here, and unfortunate for what I'm seeing here from Larry Birch, so he might have gotten himself into some trouble at some point in the lap or two here. He is coming around. Sticky Bandit comes out here. He's already out of pit lane as he just tucks in behind, I believe that's Salas there, in between him and Elbows Out Racing. So Sticky Bandit does keep that race lead as we come into the Druids here. And we have Apex Racing's Larry Birch here in second. He's just coming into Paddock Hill Bend. So a good strategy being played out here by the THG driver so far, as he does manage to stay ahead of Apex Racing's Larry Birch for the lead of the race. Renegade is in 3rd place. Apex Racing Superman here in 4th. We've got Egon coming around in 5th. Haley in 6th, Walters in 7th as he's coming around that start-finish line there right now. Raylander's just getting to those points here right now. He's just coming in through. Oh, he got it wrong. Can he keep it together? So tough. He is doing a fantastic job there. Manages to keep the car underneath him. He's going to have some dirty tires coming into Paddock Hill Bend here now, so we're going to stick with him here for a minute to see how he navigates Paddock Hill Bend. There's definitely going to be some dirty tires underneath that race car. You can see him forcing him out a little bit wider than he wanted to there, but he manages it quite well. Smoke'em Holt here in 9th place, and that's going to be a little bit of time gained here for Smoke'em Holt. So if he nails Paddock Hill Bend here, that's going to grab him about 2, 3, maybe even 4 seconds on OBR's Raylander up in front. Salas in 10th. Yak is sitting there with a half-second track limit penalty, so that's unfortunate. Morin in 12th, and Elbows Out Racing here in 13th. I don't know what I found so funny there, chap, but something obviously made me laugh there. Hey, Miller Time Gaming coming in with the raid. Much love. Welcome, Raiders from Miller Time Gaming over there on Facebook and YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Lots of love coming here from the community tonight, folks. Apex is racing Larry Birch. He's trying to do everything he can to catch up to the leader, Sticky Bandit, but Sticky Bandit has a few cars in between him and Apex Racing's Larry Birch as well, so could be interesting to see what's gonna break down here. Renegade in 3rd place, and he is potentially one of the drivers on a one-stop strategy here tonight, so going to be interesting to see if that plays out for him. Apex Racing Superman is trying to chase him down, and he is starting to close up on Renegade here, so maybe a potential battle for third place brewing between these two drivers. Egon here in 5th place, and he's got a little bit of space between him and S. Haley. They do have a driver in between them, so a little bit of breathing room for Egon here currently, as Haley is just sitting there on a purple sector as well. Walter's coming around here in 7th, and he really takes a nice line through Xerxes there. That's probably one of the best lines I've seen all day long through that corner. OBR Raylander's coming around here, and he really utilizing that turn 3 exit curve, but again, dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. And Raylander really hugging the Xerxes there, and tight line through Xerxes there. It's interesting to know what kind of exit you get there. I might have to check that out sometime. I take a bit of a different line through there, but it looked like he got a good run out of there. So Smokem Holt coming around there, and he's going to hug that inside corner. He's on a personal best there, as you can see that blue lap pop up on the screen. Salas coming around turn 3 here. Oh, and somebody got it wrong up in front of him there. I'm not sure who that was, but somebody made a mistake coming into Xerxes. Oh, it was elbows out racing. Oh, that is super unfortunate. It wasn't Xerxes. It looks like it was coming out of turn 3 as Apex Racing's Larry Birch just comes around there. So EOR is just not having fun with Brands Hatch here today. That car is just not getting along with the driver and the track. Sticky Bandit in the lead. Apex Racing's Larry Birch quite significantly behind. This has got to be at close to a 20-second gap between these drivers here. Hey, welcome Raiders. Wow, nice save. OBR Raylander. Facts. We're going to do a quick little check here. I've been ignoring the awesome YouTube channel over there because I forget it doesn't update for me. Thanks for the GT7 content. Fantastic. I'm glad you're enjoying, Durka. Not my greatest race, certainly, but always great job. We ran a special cancer livery this round. One of our drivers had a family member re-diagnosed with breast cancer. Well, we are praying for them. Renegade, my dude, we appreciate that. This race and livery was dedicated to her. Much love, my dude. Much love. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. See, the racers take this very personally. They take it very seriously. And a lot of these drivers, without us realizing it, probably are driving with somebody pretty close to them in their heart. They're thinking of, they're racing for. So, much love, Renegade. We do appreciate to hear that. We love that. Those are the feel-good stories we love to talk about here in our community. So, huge props, my man. Huge props. Apex Racing's Larry Birch here in 2nd place as well. We're going to go take a look at that livery as we're talking about it. So, driving with a purpose here today, ladies and gentlemen, is Renegade here. A livery dedicated to a friend's mom who is in a battle of her own right now. So much love, my dude. Absolutely great stuff right there. Cameraman kind of got it wrong there, though. Boo, cameraman. Alright, Apex Racing Superman here, and he is starting to close up on Renegade here. They do have a driver in between them, and he does have some time left, about 4.5 laps remaining here. So Egon in 5th place, Haley here in 6th, and he has Walter starting to close the door up on him here a little bit. So we've seen this before from these. Is that Walters? That's not Walters. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there. It's a different Flying Fox driver. You guys need to color coordinate your cars better. Come on, guys. Walters is 7th, OBR Raylander in 8th. We got Smokem Holt here in 9th. Salas in 10th. Stack and Yak in 11th. We got Morin in 12th and EOR in 13th. Apex Racing's trying to do the same thing to me here by just making all the cars the same now. So, haha. Sticky Bandit here in 1st place as he's on lap 32. 3 3/4 laps remaining for this driver. Very solidly in the lead here. Apex Racing's Larry Birch is coming around here, and a little bit off the pace of this driver currently, but holding strong here in 2nd place. Renegade is trying to chase, and he is gaining. So Renegade, he making that push to see if he can grab position here. Superman just going around EOR there, so elbows out racing, getting out of the way for him to get around there, as obviously the 3rd place driver just went around not too long ago as well. So great job to elbows out for letting Superman through, as he is chasing down Renegade here. That is starting to close up. Got Egon in 5th place here, and he's working on trying to catch them guys up as well. Haley still in 6th, Walter still in 7th. Raylander still chasing in 8th with Smokem Holt in 9th. And I think this backpack of drivers for the most part here, but except for Yak and Salas here, they're very close together. Might see a nice little battle here between teammates here as well for 10th and 11th. But other than that, these guys are pretty much sorted out here, I think, in the back half of the field right now. I think it's going to be a potential battle maybe for second, third, and fourth place before this race ends. That's kind of what it looks like is going to start happening. You can see Apex Racing's Larry Birch is just starting to catch up to Salas and his teammate there as well. So Renegade in third place, Superman in fourth, and Superman can now see Renegade. You can see the back end of that car. So if there's any more incentive near the end of a race than seeing the opponent you're chasing for a podium position, that is it. Haley's starting to close in on Egon here as well, so we are starting to see some guys really starting to push now, trying to work on closing those gaps up. And OBR Raylander getting it a little bit wrong. And again, another great save from this driver, so struggling with the track a little bit, but doing a great job keeping the car on the racetrack. Smoke'em Holt here in 9th with Yak in 10th, Salas in 11th, Moore in 12th. Track limit penalty there for him, and elbows out. So Sticky Bandit is catching up to one of the Flying Fox cars there. Apex Racing is Larry Birch in second. Where's Renegade? Not too far behind here. They do have a car in between them there, and I think we just seen a car teleport, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure that is what I just saw on the screen in front of me there. So that was a little bizarre, but Renegade's going to move up into third place here. Superman's just going to nip by there in fourth too. That looked very close there as he just squeaked through there. Egon's coming up in behind these guys here now in fifth place. We have Haley here in sixth, Walters in seventh, Raylander in eighth, and what do we got going on there? Not too much. All right, so fairly spread out, Chad. I mean, starting lap 34 here, so we're keeping our eye on that, of course. Renegade coming around here in P3 as well. Superman coming around here in fourth place. It's hard to say if we're going to see battles here at the end. This might be one here. We got Haley really closing up on Egon here. He's starting to put the pressure on, so we might have a battle brewing for fifth and sixth place here before the end of this lap as well. Let's jump on board with Haley here as he's trying to close up on Egon. He's going in late under brakes. He's trying to get good exits. He's just doing everything he can to close up every tenth of a second he can on this driver up in front. He's doing a great job at it too, ladies and gentlemen. Look how close he's getting up to that rear bumper of Egon here up into fifth place. And Egon's going to make a bit of a mistake. He goes wide into Xerxes there, and that's going to allow Haley to really get a run on him. He's on the back bumper here now, and he is going to slipstream Egon all the way down. Egon semi-defensive. He is going to go defensive, so let's see. As these guys go 2 by 2 through the sweeper, Egon almost overshoots it there. You seen Haley just back out of that a little tiny bit, realizing that probably wasn't the best spot to be in that situation, backing out for the safety of his race car here. Egon coming around. This is a blind corner. You can see one of the drivers getting it wrong. And Egon got it wrong, and Haley got it wrong, and all three drivers getting that wrong, and everybody paying the price right there. Salas is going to go through. Haley's going to go through up into fifth. Egon here in sixth place. And boy, oh boy, that corner just claimed 3 victims in a row there, chat. Brands Hatch is not letting go of these drivers today. Right down to the final lap, it is still wreaking havoc on these poor race car drivers. Whew. Absolutely craziness here, ladies and gentlemen. But Sticky Bandit is coming around with the lead of the race here. We have Apex Racing's Larry Birch in second. We're just checking to see where everybody is here. And it doesn't look like we're going to see an immediate battle for the podiums here. Unless one of these drivers make a mistake, I think we're going to see everything sort out exactly where it sits. What's up, Ghost? Why are we racing now? Isn't this already raced? Absolutely, my dude. But hey, the fans got to know what happened, so we bring it to them here on the page every week, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Yeah, you want to see your Pro-Am drivers, your favorite Pro-Am 2 driver, your favorite Pro drivers, you just got to check it out through the week here, and we're bringing these races to everybody so you don't miss any of the action brought to us here by Flat Out Racing North America. Again, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Sticky Bandit for the race win there, ladies and gentlemen. Before I go any further there, I'm not sure what happened. Apex Racing's Larry Birch there, but Renegade has gotten around Larry Birch there, so a mistake made by Larry Birch, and Renegade's going to drive right up into second place there. So that is an interesting development. And right at the end of the race, we've seen some more drama. Well, we didn't see it, but there was definitely drama. And Renegade's going to take a P2. Apex Racing's Larry Birch in P3. We got Apex Racing Superman here in P4, and that's his best finish of the season. He's going to be thrilled. As Haley coming around here, he's looking like he's going to lock down this P5 here as well. He was doing a great job of trying to reel those guys in, but wasn't able to get it done. Not sure what happened to Egon either, But fifth place for Haley. Walter's moving up into sixth, with Egon dropping all the way back down to seventh place. He's got some front end damage on that car, so definitely got himself into trouble somewhere there. And he's going to make it around here for a P7 finish. So tough race end for Egon here, losing a couple spots late. OBR Raylander, he's going to come around here in eighth place, and I believe we just seen Smokem Holt come in ninth behind Egon there as well. So OBR's Raylander there in eighth place. We got Smokem Holt in ninth. Stack and Yak rounding out our top 10 here tonight. Salas in 11th, Morin in 12th, and Elbows Out Racing rounding out our field here in 13th today. So pardon me, these guys got me all excited. I got the hiccups now. Congratulations to THG Sticky Bandit, the Ice Driver Renegade 575, and Apex Racing's Larry Birch, ladies and gentlemen, our 3 podium finishers here today. And whew, again, the fireworks at the end of the race. Holy smokes, Rip. Gutted for those drivers. Congrats, Bandit. Oh, that was some good racing, though, Chad. I got to tell you. I mean, what else can we say? Great job to everybody on the track. We had 13 drivers start this race here tonight, and we had 13 drivers finish this race tonight. So you really can't ask for it to be much better than that, ladies and gentlemen. We love seeing all those cars make it through, and that they did tonight. Some drivers had a better day than others, but at the end of the day, 3 guys got to come out on that podium, and tonight it was Apex Racing's Larry Birch, Renegade, and Sticky Bandit. So congratulations to those drivers. We're just going to do some streamer stuff here real quick, and then we'll go check the comms box and see if the guys are kicking around here. So the Ice Racing team coming in, ladies and gentlemen, very late in the season, and this week sitting with 2 podium finishes so far in the series. So Ice Racing team looking very strong here coming into the series midway through the season as well. And we're going to have some fun little stuff for you in that sense here coming into the new year as well, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have some interesting team stats that we're going to bring to you guys so you guys can also track your favorite teams to see how the overall team points throughout the season are as well. Something a little fun, something a little different, something to change it up a little bit, something to just, make it more fun for everybody. So, dang sneaky Renegade. GG's boys, says Chris, my dude. Stoked for you, my guy. Nice race, brother. That's what we're talking about right there. Alright, we're going to go check the comms box here. I'm pretty sure we got... Oh, look at that. We got all 3 of them in there. These boys love their interviews, so that's fantastic. Let's get to business, shall we, chat? I mean, hey, no time better than the present. Alright, so we are going to move to our 3rd place finisher. We're just going to turn his audio on so everybody can hear him. There we go. I'm happy for fastest lap, says Haley. Way to go, Apex boys, says Pay Me. All right, look at that. The fans are absolutely on fire tonight, you guys. Great racing out there to start with. Congratulations to all 3 of you guys. Great finishes from all 3 drivers. We're going to start with our 3rd place driver, Apex Racing's Larry Birch, ladies and gentlemen. So one of our title sponsors here in the series, Apex Racing Team. This is one of the drivers here in the series in this Pro AM1 division. And tough night out there for you. That was some tough racing out there. The first thing I noticed was Brands Hatch was fighting you guys with both fists up tonight. So talk us about your race and what it took to survive Brands Hatch here this weekend.
Yeah, Brands Hatch is a brutal track. You know, I've watched all the broadcasts you've done, and I've seen very few clean races, and I think this broadcast was no exception. I just had a couple more than Sticky and Renegade, and all in all, I thought I had a good race. I kept it together for a long time until about lap 27, 28. I saw Sticky was, I knew he had to pit, and I was about 30 seconds behind him, and I started pushing. I was like, I wanted to get in front of him out of the pit because we've seen that happen a few times, and whoever comes out first on that last stint has won every time. So I think I just pushed it a little too hard out of turn 3, and Brands Hatch fought back and gave me some damage, and I limped it around the rest of the way. I was doing pretty good, and then like 3 corners from the end, I went off, and Renegade he pounced, and that was it. So it was disappointing, but at the same time, I'll take a 3rd at this course any day. It's it's just brutal.
Absolutely, and I mean, obviously, not ideal. It was, of course, you coming in just with a very slim 2 point lead over Sticky Bandit coming into the race tonight, and then, of course, him qualifying for pole position during qualifying really essentially only makes him 1 point behind you in the championship standings. So a second place would have really been really important for you to just keep that very, very tight. But unfortunately, with that P3, is going to drop you down about 6 points from that driver. So, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, super, super tight points chase. At the top of these standings here so far, but the silent dark horse here right now really is the ICER driver Renegade coming in second race of the season and a first and a second place driver for place finish from this driver. So, moving into 2023, Larry, what's your thought process? Like, you have your eyes on this guy. Is he an immediate threat now?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely coming strong. He showed up for 2 races and beat me 2 of them. But my eyes aren't sticky right now. Like you said, we were neck and neck minus a few pole positions or fastest lap points. And that was definitely in my thought process when I saw his fastest lap up there when I went off just trying to push it too much. So special shout out to Hallie coming in and stealing that fastest lap from him. It was much appreciated.
And there we go. A little bit of help from a racing competitor on track there. So huge thank you to from Larry to Haley there for yanking that extra point away from the race winner here tonight. Again, great racing. We did miss the incident there. So turn 3, we seen get victim to a few guys all weekend long. Really, we seen the AM guys really get eaten up alive by Brands Hatch. It was basically our podium finishers were the only 3 drivers that really didn't fall victim to Brands Hatch in the amateur division. The elite was no exception. We seen the leader of the race go down with 5 laps to go and lose the race due to the incident on track. Same thing, just pushing a little too hard, made that mistake. The pro division, we see much of the same thing again, and we didn't see anything change coming into Pro AM1 division. Turn 3 and Searcy's really fought hard today, and the corner after Westfield, that blind uphill right-hander before you going into the final run there, absolutely dangerous corner. We've seen it eat 3 drivers all at once right at the end of the race there too as well, changing up some positions. So moving to Fuji, of course, for round 7, a little bit of a bigger racetrack, requires a lot more top end speed. So I guess what's your thought process coming in with these more technical race cars on some of these bigger tracks at the end of the season now?
Yeah, like I said, Fuji, about 2/3 of it is high speed, and then that last sector is pretty technical. So I think that's going to be where we really make up time or lose time there. Um, Fortunately, Fuji doesn't have the as scary as offs as Brands Hatch, so you can maybe make a mistake and recover. But yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for it though. It's a much more drivable track, or maybe that's not the right word, but it's more forgiving for sure.
Absolutely. Well, great racing by you today again. I did know that you were struggling with damage there for the remainder of the race. You did a great job to hold down a podium position nonetheless. And, of course, keep yourself in the fight for the top spot in the championships here in the Pro Am1 division. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, too, just a side note, whoever our podium finishers are from Pro Am1 and Pro Am2 divisions this season will race off for that top prize, of course, coming from our title sponsors. So, a lot more on the line than just getting through your own division. These guys still got to do it one more time at the end of the season for a 1-race showdown to take all that prize pool from Pro Am this season. So, lots to think about, of course, moving into the new year, my man. But I hope you're ready for your holiday season. What are your plans for the holiday season? Just going to relax a little bit, chill, and then get back to track in the new year?
Yeah, we'll take it a little easy this week, but I still want to practice. I mean, it's right there, and I'm sure, and I know Sticky's going to be practicing, and Renegade too. So I got to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, absolutely, and very well said. Lots on the line here for all the drivers through all our divisions. So it's getting real now. We have 4 weeks left, ladies and gentlemen. And the action is going to pick up, the intensity is going to pick up, and boy, oh boy, that means what we're watching live here at Facebook and YouTube is going to be absolutely fantastic. So congratulations and shout outs, my man.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Superman. We had our best Apex team finish this week. That was awesome to see him right behind me for most of the race. Honestly, it was a great finish for the team. And then shout out to, of course, GTR for sponsoring, and Apex, and then Flat Out League for just, like I said, I've said a couple times now, but like the hype behind this starting was awesome, and it's just continued to grow, and it's in no small part due to GT45 and these broadcasts, getting the fans in here and friends and family, and everybody's just behind it, and it's awesome.
Absolutely, and of course, I do appreciate all the support from everybody, all the fans, all the family members of our drivers, and everybody coming in just to check out and see what we're doing here at GT45 and Flat Out Racing. So much love, great racing, and we'll see you in the new year.
Have a good one.
All right, cheers. Oh, I didn't even bring it up. Oh, look at that. I'm lazy, Chad. I didn't even bring his name up. Made him talk, and he didn't even get to see his name on screen while he was talking. Poor guy. All right. Well, we'll get it right this time, Chad. So our second place driver, Ice Driver, Renegade 575. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, he did debut last weekend at Interlagos in round 5 and comes home with a huge win. He comes into round 6. He has a little bit better idea what his competitors are up to, and he comes out and he fires off another great second place podium finish. And just to note, ladies and gentlemen, the only driver to pull off a one stop, and it put him in second place here today. So congratulations, mate. Great racing. Strategy worked out great for you, and you were the only one really to test the waters on the one stop strategy. So was that the idea going into today's race?
I certainly wanted to push it to try and get that one stop. I mean, I saw it work in other races. I saw it work in the amateur race. So I'm thinking, well, they run on a lighter setting. It worked there. Benjo himself said he was running with practicing in some of our lobbies, which run the higher settings, which helped him make it. So that kind of gave me an idea that I possibly could do it. But in all honesty, I felt today that I only deserved third place. I've got to feel for Larry.
Absolutely. I mean, we did miss what happened to Larry there. You wanna fill us in what happened there? He just made a mistake and just kind of lost the car. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's all I'm guessing it was. Like coming up to that blind right-hander, I just said how that's caught a few cars out, and like in the latter stages of the race, I was catching him, not as quick as what I'd like to be, but I was still catching him, and I got to about, I think there was about a 1.5 to 2 second gap, leading up to that point, and I've just seen him on the side of the track, and I'm just like, oh no. Like, I knew it would have been close to the finish line had that not have happened. I may not have caught him, but it would have made for an exciting finish to see what could have happened.
Absolutely, and I mean, you had a lot more to worry about than just what Larry Birch was doing up ahead of you for second place as well. You also had to worry about what Apex Racing Superman was doing behind you there in fourth place, as he was really starting to close in on you there. So, you're in a tough position in that spot. You're trying to gain that extra position for those extra points coming late into the season, so you're already at a slight disadvantage over some of the guys in the field, and then you have this super quick driver catching up on your rear. So how do you navigate that as you're coming down to the last few laps of a race?
I mean, just trying to concentrate on staying on my own, like keeping in my driving line, hitting my points. Like, I've got to remember, he's the driver that's behind me. So for him to gain, he's got to circumnavigate his way around my lines. So as long as I kept to my driving line and hitting my braking points, it would have made it all the more harder for him. I'm just trying to make that car as wide as possible.
Absolutely, and very well said. You're not wrong. I mean, it's one thing for a driver to catch up to the driver in front. It's another thing for that driver to get ahead of the driver in front. That's a whole different ball game. One thing to catch the driver,
Absolutely.
A whole new game to try and get around that driver. And we see some great defensive driving from these Pro AM1 division too already this season. So not an easy task, especially on a tight racetrack like Brands Hatch. We were saying to the viewers at the beginning of the broadcast, it does look like you can drive too wide all the way around Brands Hatch here, but under racing conditions and with the lines needed to take the track quickly, it's just not possible, probably through about 3/4 of the circuit.
It's like your driving line, like when you're under racing conditions, it's like where you'd normally have a full driving line, maybe a car width beyond it, or half a car width beyond that, and still be on that driving line. You've got to you can't go beyond that edge. Otherwise, you're gone. You're out in the weeds.
Absolutely, and we see what happens when you get outside of the track here at Brands Hatch. There's usually a wall meeting you up very close behind, and that's unfortunate because it damages these cars, and then you got a battle on
Or
your
a
hands
sand
from
trap.
there, or a sand trap. Absolutely. So I don't think it was event free for you. I do believe you did make one little mistake there in the earlier part of the race, but other than that, it was pretty efficient and pretty clean from you, and I think a pretty large reason, of course, why you ended up on the podium and the rest of the drivers didn't. Your thoughts on that?
As I said last week, Lady Luck. That's all I can put it down to. She was on my side again this week. They say good luck comes in threes. Well, she certainly came in threes tonight for that race.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, oops, sorry. Go ahead.
There was one instance early in the race. It was somewhere between lap 10 to 13 or something. I'd just recently gotten in front of Egon, then coming around through that right hand. I can't remember exactly where it was on the lap, but I went off track, did a pirouette. Egon managed to get back in front of me, and like by the time I got back up to speed, he had like about a 2.5, 3 second gap, but I managed to keep it damage free. Then it also happened again later stage of the race. I did another pirouette and kept it off the wall. And then with Larry having that whoopsie on the last lap where I managed to get second place. So, as I said, Lady Luck, she was shining down on me again this week.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's racing, you know, a small little mistake or a mechanical failure or something breaks right in the middle of a corner. I mean, anything can happen in racing, ladies and gentlemen. So at the end of the day, Renegade finding himself in second place. So great racing by you again. And shout outs and thank yous, my man.
First of all, I'd like to thank the sponsors of the league, both Flat Out Racing, Apex Racing, and both yourself with GT45. Like to thank our team sponsors, Signs on Para, Cooper Consultancy, and TerraQuip. The big shout outs would go to my fellow drivers who also performed well this weekend. In our Pro-Am 2 division, we had our other new debutant, Isa Budsy, pick up his debut win in his debut race. And as you mentioned earlier in the stream, we had Benjo picking up his debut victory in league racing altogether. He's gotten that monkey off his back. He's picked up his first league win, which is also, as I said, another victory for Isa within Flat Out Racing league races. So we did, so we've had good results across the board. So I want to give a big shout out to Isa Benjo and Isa Budsy. And also the big shout out that I really want to give is to my mate Benjo, whose mother was recently re-diagnosed with breast cancer. My race victory, or not victory, in personal victory to me anyway. I did the best I could. But my race position there, second place, and I want to dedicate that race to both Benjo's mother and a further cancer sufferer who's going through it at the moment is my own father. So he may not be having breast cancer, but he does have cancer in general. So to Benjo's mum and my dad, that one was for you.
Well, cheers, and you know the community's behind you guys with this, with everything, of course, that the family's going through, and of course Benjo's family. So we're always thinking of you here at not only at Flat Out, but also at GT45, and we're sending prayers and vibes daily for speedy recoveries and some remission for both your members. So very well said and very honorable of you, my man. We do highly respect that, and the livery looked fantastic on the racetrack as well. And great racing, and I'm sure that they're very proud of you guys. Again, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of these racers, even though they don't speak about it, are carrying somebody personal to them when they're on the racetrack. And this was the case today for our second place finisher. So much love, my guy. You have our support. You guys ever need anything, don't be scared to reach out to the communities. We got you.
That's it. It goes for everything. It goes for anxiety and depression as well. Don't be afraid to speak out and reach to somebody. There's always someone out there who is willing to listen, so just lend an ear.
Absolutely.
or a shoulder to cry on.
Absolutely, you got it, ladies and gentlemen. But again, thank you for taking time out of your busy day. I know it's about early evening there over in Australia now. So, thank you so much for being here with us today, and of course being so open and honest with the community. We absolutely appreciate that. And again, our heart goes out to you guys, and we're thinking of you, and we're sending vibes, guys. We're
It's
definitely
actually
sending vibes.
1:30 in the afternoon over here where I am.
Absolutely. They're coming in with the wishes. They're in the chats on Facebook there as well. The community is already showing that love. So hopefully they start feeling that real soon there down in Australia. But much love. And again, congratulations. Great second place finish, my dude.
Thank you very much. And as I said again, big shout out to GT45 with their gaming and to Flat Out and all the sponsors involved.
All right, cheers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the man who was chasing Apex Racing's Larry Birch for that championship lead, Mr. THG's, the Humble Guys is what that stands for, ladies and gentlemen, Sticky Bandit. He's been showing great pace and racing skill all season long. This guy has been the man to beat all season long. And then Apex Larry Birch woke up, managed to skate ahead of him there in the standings, and barely stay ahead of him in the standings. But today, fortune has changed for Sticky Bandit here. He is going to go into 2023 as the points leader, as of course the race finished today. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the drivers have 24 hours to submit incident reports, etc., etc. The stewards do their thing, and if there is any necessary action required, of course, that's handled behind the scenes. But as the race finished today, that will put Sticky Bandit in the lead of Pro-Am Division 1 coming into Round 7 in 2023. So first of all, congratulations, my man. It was some great racing from you here today. And talk to us a little bit about what you were thinking coming into the round today.
Oh yeah, thanks. Coming into the round, I knew I had to be on my game, being so tight up at the top. So I was practicing all week, trying to hone my skills. And not gonna lie, every practice I had, I was falling off the track. It bit me every time, and the race was no exception. I did make one little mistake there in Sturgis, and Apex Larry Birch went flying by, and I just put my head down after that and just stuck to the game plan and just tried to race clean. That was my main goal, was just to stay clean, stay on the track, and try and be fast. It's an absolutely brutal track. It's tough.
Absolutely, and Cersei's really claimed some victims here this evening for you guys. Is there just something about that corner with this particular car that just unsettles the car coming in? I mean, we do know that you're coming in on a flat surface, and then you kind of dip, and then you're going straight uphill around the corner. Is that just a point in that corner that seems to upset this BRZ?
Well, yeah, it is actually one of the harder corners on that track, because if you go in too tight and hit that apex really tight, you're up on that curb, and if you touch that curb, you're going to get spun around and it's going to upset the car. So you don't want to be right tight, and if you stay out wide, you're in the marbles. That's what happened to me. I got into the marbles and it just sucked me over. I couldn't do anything. I was just lucky to collect it and stop, and then have a look to see who was coming, make sure I didn't crash anybody getting back on track. Got back on and just pushed. But yeah, it's a tough corner.
Absolutely, and then from there, obviously you had your first pit stop sequence. You realized quickly that, of course, lots of drivers are on that two-stop strategy, but on a very different sequence than yourself. So coming through the mid part of the race, it was fairly uneventful for the most part. It looked like for you. You had a little bit of traffic to deal with, but nothing too major. And then you make that second pit stop. At that point, you have roughly about a 30-second lead on the second place driver. What's going through your mind at that point? Do you think you've got enough gap at that point to come out in the lead of the race?
I was practicing the strategy all week, and I knew I was going to be quick on the second stop, because I went full send softs, and then just the little stint on mediums at the end for the 7 laps. So I only had to fuel the car slightly, and I think that's what saved me time. And then as I got out of the pits, I checked the time, and sure enough, Larry Birch is right there, and I was just monitoring the time the whole way, being as I was on mediums, and I figured he was on softs. So just trying to stay out in front. And fortunately, I was in pretty much clean air the whole time. And in this track, if you get into traffic, you're going to get stuck, and like 1 or 2 seconds trying to battle a guy is pretty big on this track. So yeah, I was lucky enough to be in clean air and stayed out in front. It's good.
Absolutely, and I mean, Dirty Air, you're not wrong. We got Ian Mayette and Clarissa Reeves coming in with the thumbs up as well. Much love, you guys out there as well. With that being said, Dirty Air definitely did prove to be difficult for these BRZs today. There was a lot of instances we've seen where guys were getting to the point where they're kind of nose to tail and deciphering maybe if they're going to make a move or if they're just going to sit there in behind and wait. And if the driver in front made just the slightest mistake or went just the slightest wide, it really affected that driver in behind. And unfortunately, usually for the driver in behind, that meant that they went a little extra wide, and it put them in a sticky situation or in an unwanted situation. So Dirty Air definitely proving to be a little bit difficult here tonight. So it's definitely a good shout out on the Dirty Air. Larry Birch had some damage, and ideally, that's probably what halted his charge towards a potential fight for first place there. But you did have a pretty good gap. You were still sitting at about 10 or 12 seconds at that time. So, again, all in all, a fairly uneventful race for the most part, except for that incident in Surtees. It seemed like that some of the guys that were struggling on the track here today, not having their best days on the racetrack, it looked like they were doing a really good job of getting out of your guys' way that were still racing for those positions. Let's talk about that. How do you feel the guys did tonight? Because there was definitely a lot of mixed traffic during the race, especially the latter part of the race here tonight.
Oh, top notch. Every time there's ever been a situation, the guys they just they get right out of the way in the proper spots. And some of the time, I almost want them to stay out. I wanted to get in behind more in there and get some draft, but he ducked out of the way. And they're really respectful drivers. It's really fun. It's clean driving. And yeah, top marks for those guys, all the guys. It's great.
Well, absolutely. And on a good note for the whole division, you're the first division this weekend to make it through Paddock Hill Bend at the race start without at least one driver going to play in the sand. So just a little extra bonus shout out for Pro AM1 division this week here at Flat Out Racing for surviving Paddock Hill Bend on race start. But I mean, great racing from you. You pretty much summed it up tonight. Again, it was a fairly uneventful race for you, and I mean, consistency. We did notice that your consistency was extremely good, and you actually had two of the identical fastest lap there, split by about 6 laps apart from each other there. So, have you ever actually seen that before? Because I think that's the first time we've caught something like that actually live on the stream. So,
I've personally done that before. One other time, I've got the identical lap times. I would definitely wasn't expecting that to happen. I was really pushing, really wanted that fast lap. I had the pole. I knew I had a good chance to be at least on podium, and fortunately, I got the win. So, and then that fast lap late taken by Haley. Oh man, I was disappointed. I think it was lap 34 or 33. It was way late in the race, and he scooped it from me. So props to him for screaming fast lap. It was a great race.
Absolutely. Well, again, another THG driver here, ladies and gentlemen, sitting on the podium this week. We are seeing a lot of the humble guys racing very quickly here throughout all the divisions at Flat Out Racing North America. So, massive race here again tonight. Mission accomplished here moving into 2023.
Oh, absolutely. I needed a podium at least coming in. It is so tight, and we got the 2 week break now. I can relax a little bit, but like Larry Birch said, I'll be on the track practicing a little bit. Take a couple of days off, get the crew out there, and get back at it.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't expect anything less from all the drivers throughout the series here because, boy, it's getting heaty as we're heading towards that final run. Thank yous and shout outs, my man.
Yeah, thank you. I want to say thanks to all the boys, THC boys at the clubhouse, the pro guys, Method Pork, THG Corey, GT35, THG Caesaru. He gave me a lot of help this week on lines and whatnot. Graphics, High Pre Graphics, thank you. Apex Racing. You guys, everybody go check out their website. It's absolutely free. Go check out the website. You never know what you're going to get. I've already picked up a hoodie myself to get some gear, boys. GTR Simulator, thank you for the big sponsor. And of course, thank you, Ghost, GT45 Gaming, for your comms, the best in the business. And definitely like to thank my wife and say hi to my daughter, Kaylee. Daddy loves you.
Awesome shout outs, my man. Absolutely great stuff right there. starting in 2023, you guys will be getting a live broadcaster for your divisions as well. So Nolander Gaming is going to come in. He's going to take the helm on your guys' division, and you guys will actually now be live broadcast as it happens live on Sunday night. So a little bit of fun for you guys. So be nice to the poor guy, take it easy on him, and just keep that action kicking for our man Nolander Gaming.
You bet, you bet. Thank you so much, Thank you.
All right, and again, thank you, drivers, for again coming in and giving us the time again after the fact and coming and talking to us. The fans really do appreciate the interviews, and they love hearing from you guys. So much love out there, and be safe coming in the holiday season. We'll see you in 2023.
Yeah, you too. And I don't know, I really want to thank the fans. I think I forgot to thank the fans. So thank you guys, everybody, for watching, and everybody have a good holiday season.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Cheers, brother. Cheers. Great racing. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So those are some good interviews. As always, these guys are always very well spoken. They always have great things to say. They always have great answers to the questions. They never know what the questions are going to be. These are just questions that come right off the top of my head as things happened throughout race day. And the guys just come in and just nail it week in and week out with some great answers. Another shout out for the great racing and comms. Great interviews. Have a good night, y'all. Hey, much love, John. We appreciate you. Have a good night, you legend. Who else we got? Kicking Comms Dean again. Appreciate you, Nolander. Great racing from everyone, even those who didn't have their best day. Y'all put your head down, kept pushing. Well done, y'all. Absolutely. Nolander Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm going to give him one more call out here. You know, he's going to take over this Pro AM1 division live Sunday nights. So make sure you guys go over to Nolander Gaming on Facebook. Check out what he's got there. Definitely throw a like, share, and a follow if you want to catch that Pro Am1 division live Sunday nights. It'll no longer be done here at GT45 Gaming. We're passing it off to our man, our right-hand man, Nolander Gaming. And he is absolutely a fantastic broadcaster, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you don't miss out that Pro Am1 division on Sunday night. So, I mean, where else can we go with that? That was a crazy race. We've seen everything in this race. We've seen the racetrack fighting with the drivers. We've seen the drivers fighting with the racetrack. We've seen the drivers fighting with each other for positions, trying to get as far up the field, as they could in order to gain the best amount of points leading out of 2022. This was a fantastic race by our Pro Am1 division, ladies and gentlemen. There was lots of good racing happening, and there was just a lot of action, whether it was side-by-side battling for position or, again, the drivers just battling the racetrack itself. Brands Hatch laid a huge chomp into our Pro Am1 guys today, so Brands Hatch still proving to be very, very difficult here for all our divisions here at Flat Out Racing North America this weekend. And that leads us into tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, with our Pro Am 2 division, our final broadcast of 2022 from Flat Out Racing North America. Kind of sad, but hey, we got more coming back in 2023, so it is A-OK. I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming, and we got a legend up in the chat with the name of Chris Reeves dropping a massive 310 star bomb. My dude, I love you, my guy. Thank you so much for the support. You're absolutely legendary. Merry Christmas to me and to all the competitors on track. Honored to share the asphalt with you all. Let's get a hashtag Chris up in those chats before we shut this thing down tonight. Let's show our man the love right back, chat. Get her done. Get her done. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this race. It was awesome. I was cold. I was cold from the winter conditions outside today, and now I'm toasty warm because the action on track was fire. That was some great stuff here by our drivers. We had 8 lead changes tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 6 different leaders in this race tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So, thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time checking out Flat Out Racing North America and you love what you see here, do us a favor. Hit that like, share, and follow button, or subscribe if you're over there on YouTube, and turn on those live notifications. That way there you never ever miss another moment of the absolutely hot action here. I mean, honestly, in the hottest series here in North America on GT7 right now, ladies and gentlemen. That's Flat Out Racing North America. Any other league out there wants to prove me wrong? We absolutely would love to challenge. So let's go. Flat Out Racing North America, ladies and gentlemen, sponsored by GTR Simulators and Apex Racing Team. Graphics provided by High Pre Graphics. Absolute legends, all of them, let me tell you. Huge love to the staff here at Flat Out Racing North America. They keep the gears turning week in and week out. To the stewards who have the hardest job in the house. You guys are doing an amazing job. The system is fantastic. These guys are killing it behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen. We're 6 weeks into the season. We've got 5 full divisions of race car drivers still sitting there waiting to compete coming into 2023. We cannot ask for it to be any better than that. You're interested? Go ahead. Ask us in the comments section. We'll get you a Discord invite. We'll get you over to Flat Out Racing North America. We'll get you involved in the community. We'll get you locked into what's going on here at Flat Out Racing North America, and you could be the next superstar sitting on the top of the podium with your name in gold, ladies and gentlemen. Talking Tyler GT45 Gaming or Nolander Gaming and your very first podium interview league race win. You just never know. Anything is possible, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is try. Congratulations, all the podium finishers. Facts, my guys. Facts. Appreciate all those hashtag Chris's up in the chats as well. Everybody all through all the channels. We do absolutely appreciate everybody. It's holiday season. I mean, we are close to Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday. Christmas is on Sunday, sorry. Christmas Eve is on Saturday, silly goose. So, I mean, we're 5 days away from Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Some of us are still out there celebrating. We're still doing staff Christmas parties. We're doing all these things. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do please urge everybody, make good decisions out there. Keep yourselves safe. Please don't drink or drive. Make sure you have a safe ride home, whether it be a designated driver, your favorite cab company, you have a place to stay where you are celebrating. Just make sure that we're all safe and we're home for the holiday season. We want all the boys and girls, all the mamas and dads, all the granddads and grandnans to make it home and sit around that dinner table and have just the most absolutely beautiful family time that we haven't been able to have over the last few years, ladies and gentlemen, due to some pretty crazy stuff happening around worldwide. So GT45 Gaming just wants to see smiles on every single person's face this holiday season. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you matter. We love you guys. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. And most importantly, stay winning.